When did the designated driver leave everyone stranded at the party? Annie had been our designated driver since freshman year. Never touched a drop of alcohol. Always got us home safe no matter how messy things got. Every weekend for 4 years, her Prius was basically campus's free drunk shuttle. She'd even installed plastic seat covers because of how often people puked. That was just Annie. Always prepared, reliable, always there. I'd personally watched her save at least a dozen people from disaster. When my roommate Mike overdosed on Molly at that warehouse party, Annie recognized the signs and rushed him to the ER while we were all still arguing about whether he was just really high. She literally held his airways open in the back seat while driving with one hand. He's alive because of her. Or the time Jessica was about to go home with that senior who had multiple accusations. Annie pretended to be Jessica's angry ex and caused a whole scene to extract her. Jessica was too drunk to understand what was happening, kept calling Annie a cock-blocking bitch, but Annie just absorbed it and got her home safe. She'd stopped Brad from getting a face tattoo of his ex's name at 3 a.m., physically wrestled keys from drunk drivers, talked people off rooftops, cleaned blood, puke, and other fluids I won't mention from her car without complaint. Once she literally fought off a guy who was following drunk Sarah to her car, got a black eye for it, still showed up the next weekend to drive us. She'd also hidden Kevin's cocoa when cops showed up to a house party, saving him from a felony that would have ended his law school dreams, held Emma's hair during her alcohol poisoning, monitoring her breathing for 6 hours straight instead of sleeping. The night everything changed was Cameron's birthday. February 15th, freezing cold, roads already icy from an earlier storm. We'd all gone to O'Malley's downtown. Annie was there with her usual water and lime, watching everyone's drinks, keeping track of who was too far gone. She'd already cut off Erica twice and physically removed Brad from his ex who'd shown up with her new boyfriend. I was at the bar when it happened, so I only heard about it later from the bartender who saw the whole thing. Apparently, while Annie was in the bathroom, our friend group decided they wanted Taco Bell. Cameron said he was basically sober. He'd had 8 shots and 2 lines of coke in the bathroom. They took Annie's keys from her jacket pocket. The bartender said Erica was laughing about how Annie was too controlling, and they were teaching her a lesson about being fun. They left her downtown at 1 a.m. Temperature was 18 degrees. Annie came out to find her friends gone, her jacket gone, her keys and her car gone. She called them 15 times. They sent her to voicemail every time except once. Erica finally picked up, music lasting so loud the bartender could hear it from across the room. "We're fine. Stop being such a mom," then hung up on her. Annie was stranded in this club downtown, alone, at the worst possible time. No buses. They'd stopped at midnight. Not enough cash for the 30-mile Uber home. The bartender said she sat at the bar for an hour trying to reach anyone else for help. Nobody answered. She spent the night in a 24-hour diner drinking coffee she could barely afford, while drunk men kept bothering her. The owner finally let her sleep in a back booth around 4 a.m. out of pity. She had hypothermia symptoms by then, couldn't stop shaking, lips blue. At 4 a.m., Cameron crashed Annie's car going 73 in a 35 zone. Black ice, they said later, but the police report showed he was at 21 BAC with cocoa in his system. They hit a family heading home from the hospital where the father had just finished a 16-hour shift as an ER doctor. The mother, Agnes, survived, but she's paralyzed from the waist down. She was a dance teacher. The daughter, Temeka, 15 years old, was in a coma for 3 weeks, has permanent brain damage now. Cameron got 6 months in jail, but Annie, since it was her car and Cameron told police she always let them drive when she didn't feel like it, she got sued, lost everything. Her savings, her scholarship when she couldn't get to student teaching. Insurance wouldn't cover it because Cameron was an unauthorized driver. She had to drop out senior year, 4 months before graduation, 4 months from her teaching degree. Here's what kills me. Not one of them are helping Annie with legal fees. Not one of them are showing up to her court dates. Erica is actually planning to testify against her. She told me she plans to tell the judge Annie frequently allowed intoxicated friends to drive. They've started a new group chat without her called Fun Friends Only. I'm the only person that Annie is still in contact with. But here's the thing. My uncle's a lawyer. I've convinced him to take this case on. These friends are about to find out what happens when you bite the hand that feeds them. Full story on channel, link below.